All right, Craig, we are here talking about your article, The Best State to Retire In. This is a common question that we get from folks that we're working with to help transition from the working phase of their life into the retired phase of their life. Why is this such a common question? It must be, since you took time to write an entire article addressing it.
Yeah, it's I think because we've spent a lot of our time dreaming or moving toward retirement. And so, I mean, one of the things I love about being here is just kind of the softer side of some things. And so there's going to be some facts in this area, but we're going to look at it a little bit different way in terms of, but everybody cares. Like, you care about that season of your life and you want it to be a great one.
So why do you think this tends to be so heavily featured in the retirement phase of life? Why is this seem to be increase? It moves up people's priority list.
Yeah, well,
Answering this question.
you have a lot more time and flexibility and potential of places that you can be. And then there's so many factors involved in that. And we lay those out in the article, like weather matters to people, healthcare matters to people, taxes matter to people, both income taxes and state. So there's some complexity in it that tends to get people overwhelmed when they're thinking about it.
So maybe you can help us understand how folks watching this could actually work through making this decision. Because like you said in the article, you highlight some explanations for the most common things that we hear. People that want to reduce income taxes, people that want to avoid estate taxes, they want to stretch their dollar farther, they want to have a certain quality of life or be near family. How can people go about deciding where they should spend their retired years?
Yeah, so I think the process of all of those things matters, but what is most important is that each person is unique and different. So the way you're going to retire and the way I'm going to retire are going to look very, very different. So walking through those, but then having some kind of a priority plan for, like, which of those is most important to you. For example, for me, I'm a relational person, and so I want to be close to the people that I want to spend time with. And so the weather doesn't matter as much to me as how close I can be to people. That may be different for you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. One of the things that we think about is we want to help people optimize their finances to reach their goals,
Right.
not just optimize the finances for the sake of optimizing the finances. So you make a really good point in that if your family tends or your family happens to live in a state where there's higher income taxes, unless I'm hearing you wrong, you might say, well, then so be it. I will pay some higher income
Right.
taxes in order
Yep.
to be near the people that I care most about.
Yes,
Got it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So the way that we talk about that is not letting the tax tail wag the planning dog.
Right. Yep.
So taxes are certainly
Exactly.
important to optimize,
Yep.
but don't let it necessarily be the highest thing on your priority list.
Yep. Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly.
Um, so I hear you say setting priorities and then kind of ranking them based on what's going to create the life that you're looking for. Um, but you called the article the best state to retire in. So
Right.
from your perspective, what is the best state to retire in?
Well, I got to give an answer
You got to
apparently,
give an
huh?
answer.
So
Yeah.
the answer is contentment. So you want to reach a point where you can be content where you are. And so that's going to look different for everybody. But I think the attitude of getting to contentment it's not necessarily an easy one. So when I had examples in my own family of somebody that I would have said checked all the boxes in terms of all those other things we've already talked about, but they weren't really content. Somebody else that had less resources, probably in a less nice state, but they ended up being much more content because they chose to have it be a life-giving thing for them. So I'm excited for everybody when they hit this phase of their life to find that place of contentment and find the people that can help them get there.
I know you covered in the article, but do you mind sharing just the brief overview of that kind of that story? You said there's kind of a tale of two stories in my family.
Yeah, yeah. So they was my father-in-law who had significant resources and had a couple different places that he lived, kind of bouncing from basically sun to snow because he loved both of those things. But just there wasn't a lot of relational capital built in those places, and so I felt like he was just kind of looking for the I don't know, out for the kind of chasing the dog that's chasing the carrot or whatever, and just didn't really feel content about it. And Ginny, my mother-in-law, they were divorced at this point in their life, but she really learned to be content where she was at. She didn't have significant means. She was here in the Seattle area, but she invested in people. She invested in family. And I really felt like all the way to the end, she was a very joyful, content person. And so that really framed our thought process. Resources more on one side, contentment more on the other side.
Mm.
And so that's, kind of my hope is that I will be more like a Ginny, I guess.
Mm. That's really helpful. And that maybe enforces a principle that we talk about, where certainly in financial planning and wealth management, there's a lot of strategic steps that we help people to take. But principally speaking, we talk about wealth as a tool to do something else. And that's either enjoying life, providing for loved ones, impacting causes you care about. And the most satisfaction seems to come from using wealth to live out the objectives that are most important and fulfilling to you, as opposed to chasing the wealth itself.
Yep, absolutely. Yes, totally.
Well, great article. Thank you so much for taking the
Yeah,
time to share this. And for anybody
yeah,
watching this, if you're looking for an approach like this, you're welcome to reach out to our team. And we hope this has been helpful for you.
yeah. Great. Thanks.